Come on, go live. Come on, YouTube. YouTube, go live. Okay, there it is. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another Just Chillin podcast call-in edition show. First of all, shout out to Mike Nixon. He back here. I see you. Is that an Angel Wings profile picture? What's up, man? How you doing? Joel Yada in here. Definitely gonna try and get Joel to come on to the show. Been a minute, and last time we spoke was after a win against the Saints. This time it would be after a win against the Carolina Panthers. So we'll see. Sober party in here as well. I was just going to wait a little bit more for a couple of people to pop in, get the word out. Thank you guys for being here. Like the stream, share it up, get everybody in here. Jane the Champ in here as well. Let me quickly make a tweet. Actually, where is my tweeting? My tweets. Twitter is weird. Twitter is so weird. There it is. We are live. Of course, if you are a member, you have already access to the call-in link. And about 20 to 30 minutes into the show, I will drop the link for everybody else to call in. Bark Nasty C Bands in here as well. What's up, man? Let's talk about the Giants, all right? As the title says, Jabrill Peppers is out for the season. A ruptured ACL is what they're saying, and the Giants can't seem to catch a break. I don't know what's up with this, but that's the third captain of our team that's injured and gone for the season. Nick Gates, Blake Martinez, now Jabrill Peppers. Almost as if the football god said, I'm going to pluck one of them from each part of the team. Offense, Nick Gates. Defense, Blake Martinez. Special teams, Jabrill Peppers. All three captains, all three parts of the team, all three of them out for the season. And of course, it might be even worse for Nick Gates. We're all always awaiting updates and information about that. But with Jabrill gone, I don't think it's too serious. And hear me out for a second. Hear me out. And I agree, Sober Party. I'm really starting to believe what a lot of people have been telling me, which is that maybe the field really is part of the problem here. Whatever turf MetLife Stadium has, whether it's natural grass or turf or AstroTurf or whatever, I think it's turf that they have. Maybe that is a really big contributing factor, more so than people let on. But I don't think we're gonna suffer too badly from this. We still have Xavier McKinney, who is coming on. You know, I think he's improving with each game, and we have Logan Ryan. Now, Logan Ryan has been kind of really bad this year. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It seems like he forgot how to tackle altogether, and after a spectacular first year at the safety position, it seems like he forgot how to play football altogether sometimes. Not gonna lie to you, Logan Ryan's been pretty bad, but we still got Julian Love as well, unless Julian Love somehow got injured. Somebody let me know about that. And then with the oncoming debut of what's his name, Aaron Robinson, the guy that we got in the third round of this year's draft. He could play, man outside corner, but I've also seen and read that maybe he could play strong safety as well. We do have guys to fill in for that Peppers role, and Peppers has been pretty hit or miss this year, if I'm being honest with you guys. It's not like he was having the year he was last year. Well, to be fair, nobody in the defense is having the year they were having last year. But it's not necessarily the end of the world. Of course, it just really sucks. It just really sucks that we have to have another captain of this team go out for the year. What's up, Yuvraj? What's up, Super Tajwell? And what up, Luan? Sober Party. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Of course, I saw somebody in there say go Knicks. The Knicks are currently playing, I'm pretty sure. Last time I checked, they were up. I don't know if they're still up or not. With that being said, let me bring on Mike Nixon. Mike, what's up, bro?
Yeah, and by the way, we're still up 97 to 80.
Okay, that's what's up. 97 to 80. That's a good margin right there. How much time is
Yep. 656.
let's hold off for the win, man. Let's hold off for the win.
Mm-hmm. Uh, it doesn't get any easier.
Are you referring to what, man?
The injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The injuries. And
Mm-hmm.
by the way, it was confirmed that he actually tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what I said, right? Ruptured ACL or something.
Yeah, rupture tear. I guess they're the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but now I doubt we get a comp pick
Why do you
for
say
him
that?
because I mean
You think some team is gonna sign him for less money than they would have signed him, basically?
he may or he may not even get signed.
Mm.
You're you're talking about a possible year to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So I I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get signed.
It's a fair point to bring up, and like I said, he's been hit or miss for the most part of this year.
Yeah. The only thing that I can say is that maybe we bring him back on like a 2 year prove it deal,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't know.
But you what?
I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. And Blue Wave, I agree with you. I was saying earlier, I want to know your opinion on this, Mike. Blue Wave is another believer that it's the turf that's a really major part of the problem. Just what they're playing on. What do you think about that?
I agree.
Hey,
I
you're
agree.
a coach, Mike. Like, so you could give me a little bit of insight. Like how does the surface you're playing on, like, what effect does it really have on the players? So, like at the high school level, I'm assuming
I
they're
mean,
playing on grass, right?
yeah. And pretty much to our field, to be honest, isn't all that good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But when you travel, have you seen different surfaces, or is it all grass?
uh, I played, or I was on a turf field probably like 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, that turf needed to be redone
Mm-hmm. What's the difference
because
between the turf, like the feel of it? What's the difference between the turf and the natural grass?
I guess natural grass you probably don't slip a lot unless it's muddy,
Mm-hmm.
and then but to be honest, I don't even know the difference.
Okay, then. I got Blue Wave says the turf I played on springs back a bit more so regular than regular grass. When the forces increase, it springs back harder on the ankles and knees, is what he's saying. That's a
Yeah,
very interesting piece of information that I did not know about.
yeah.
What else though, Mike? What else about the Giants?
Uh, uh, Pretty much nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can compete against the Chiefs, make it close, maybe pull off an upset.
What are the chances of that though? I
Very
mean, the
slim,
Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
very slim.
Yeah. I feel like maybe some people getting ahead of themselves. I mean, I know they have a rough start to the season, but it's still a team that's been to the Super Bowl the past 2 years. Still Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes. Still have a
yeah.
lot of offensive weapons, even if
That's what I keep
yeah.
on telling people.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is still elite. I mean, their
Even with Chad,
defense is,
didn't Chad Henne win them a playoff game last year?
yeah. Well, granted, he came in like the fourth quarter.
What'd you say?
Granted, he came in like the fourth quarter. It wasn't like Henny played the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Or did wait? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think he came in like the end of the third, fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, he still he still gave them a chance to win. He still got the first down to seal the game.
Hmm.
So I mean, we just gotta we just gotta hope that Daniel Jones can put up points because
Real
their
quick,
defense.
shout out to you, Rebraj. Have a good one, man. Yeah, go ahead there.
Because to be honest, their defense is trash.
Hmm.
They can't stop a nosebleed. So I'm
What do you think about
I'm
our defense? If we're talking about defense, are they gonna have a repeat performance? Are they gonna struggle? Are they gonna fall back to where they were?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, Tyreek Hill's probably going to have a field day. Travis Kelsey probably going to have a field day. It's it's just a no-win situation.
Heard you. Rival says he thinks they fall back. I could see it happening. What? All right. Before I
But
let you go. Oh yeah, go ahead.
however, Adoree Jackson in the past has contained Tyreek Hill pretty good.
That's gonna all depend on if Graham says stick with Tyreek Hill for the rest of the game, or if he's gonna be like, each corner is playing one side of the field.
Yeah. And
That all depends
I
on what
hope
Graham.
I hope to God that Graham realizes that Adoree has the speed to stay with him.
Hmm.
Because if not, and Bradbury's covering, I'm sorry, he's toast. I'm.
Hmm.
It's just a fact. Bradbury ain't that fast to keep up with that type of speed.
Hmm.
And I mean, even when he was covering McLaurin, you could see that he can't keep up with that type of speed.
Hmm. And also another thing, I hope Patrick Graham realizes that continue to play man. We played a good amount of man, of course, because the pass rush showed up. But still, I would prefer us doing that than the amount of zone we've been doing.
Yeah, it's it's just gonna be a struggle to watch this game.
I mean, let me get your last thought though, bro, before I pop you on and have Joel on here. It could be related to the Chiefs. Actually, yeah, let it be related to the Chiefs. Let it be related to Week 8.
All right, I just hope to God that we are competitive. That's all I have to say. And go next.
Go
By the
Knicks.
way, by
Go
the
ahead. What's
way,
the
we're
score?
up 105-91 with 2:35 left.
We're about to go what 3-1. What does that put us at? Second in the Eastern Conference.
108-91 now.
What would that put us at? Second or third in the Eastern Conference?
Uh, I don't know.
Because I know
Like,
the Bulls and the Hornets are first and second. They're three and
yeah,
one. If the Knicks go 3-1, yeah, I mean the top of the East is right there. Because the
yeah,
Bucks are also 3-1.
dude. I just wanna say the Hornets are really, really, really fun to watch this year.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them yesterday play Boston. I mean, and they lost in overtime, but it, dude, Lamelo is
Mm-hmm.
that dude, and
Mm-hmm.
the Hornets are just so much fun to watch. I can't. I mean, I can't wait till the next play down because two fun teams going at it is is a recipe for good basketball.
Mm-hmm. And I can't
But
wait to see how we're gonna look and try and guard LaMelo.
yeah, but anyway, Albert, it was good talking to you. And once again, good luck on your finals this week.
Midterms, but yes, thank you.
Oh, midterms.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Hub.
Hey man, listen, thank you once again, Mike, for calling in. Have a good one, bro.
Yup.
Next up, we got Joe Yada. Before I pop up on Sober Party, what up? Luann says they're watching the film on KC Blitz Mahomes. We're gonna have to get home on the Blitz. Rival says he's got to eat. I want the Knicks to ball out so we have something to be proud of in New York. The Knicks are looking real good, and I only called a couple of Knicks games last year, and I said what they needed to add was some weapons on the offensive side and generally improve their offense because they had a great defense last year, and they did it. And now they're like tied or about to be tied for second place in the East. So that's always nice to watch. What up, Joe? Yeah, how you doing? How you doing, man? And Joseph Balby in the chat.
Yeah, hey guys, how's
Look at him decked
everybody's?
out on everything New York Giants.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool. Where'd you get that sweater?
Facebook.
I didn't know Facebook sold things.
There was an advertisement on there, and I saw this. I was like, "Yeah, I'm grabbing that. That's a hoodie, so I can. It's really lightweight and thin, but good to wear inside the house. I was just kind of chilly and didn't want to wear my robe again. Oh,
How you feeling?
actually, not too bad. I mean, I'm trying to hold back.
Any overreaction?
Yes, and that's very hard to do because I mean, we look at this Chiefs team and it's like if we were ever going to play the Chiefs, I mean, this is the week to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not good at prime time. Monday nights we always struggle. I mean, at least we're not playing the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those games that I'm looking at, and the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking that we can win.
Let me hear your thoughts on it.
Well, I sat back and watched the game Sunday against Carolina, and I was just scratching my head trying to figure out how we were going to move the ball. We don't have a running game. All our weapons are out. What can we possibly do? I mean, I figured that, everybody's been sitting on our routes. And I'm going, oh my God, is this just going to be a repeat of last week with the Rams?
Mm-hmm.
And Garrett started rolling him out. And even though we never ran the ball well, we never gave up on it. So that made the defense stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't bringing, 8 men into a box, but if you ran the play action, the linebackers would freeze for a second, and then the guys were getting open and making plays, and everybody made plays, and everybody was there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't see just one person trying to do more than what was needed. I mean, everybody did the exact amount that was needed. We finally got to see the young talent on this team. The new middle linebacker we got, McKinney.
He
Wow.
impressed me. He impressed me a lot. I didn't expect that. I'll be honest.
I
Because
didn't
we
either.
picked him up basically off of waivers.
Yep.
Did not expect him to perform as good as he did, and I am pleasantly surprised. I hope it continues.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was right there. If Ojulari or Roche had the guy get by him, I mean, Dexter balled, Leo balled, that whole defensive front four. Well, the front seven.
Mm-hmm.
The front seven really came out and played, and that allowed that secondary to do what it did last year. I mean, that's the defense that we all expected that we were going to see.
I said it in my reaction video. I said,
Yes.
This is what we all thought was going to happen week one. We thought we were going to have somebody screaming off the edge like Aziz, and we thought because of that, Leo was going to get to the quarterback as well because then they're paying attention to the edge, and because the pass rusher's rolling, everybody behind him falls into place.
Right. And Sober Party's exactly right. Garrett called a great game. As much as we dislike Garrett, as much as
Going
we
back to
tear
what you
him
were saying, the
down.
rollouts that helped in Daniel Jones not getting sacked that much.
Exactly, because if you watch when he rolled out, the whole line and the defense would go that way and he'd come back around the other way. And it gave time for routes to open up downfield so that he could throw 10, 15 yards down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Slayton was making catches. I mean, I think Engram made a couple of catches.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that one.
I mean, poor Sills, he dropped the one pass that was thrown at him and he gets
Yo,
caught.
I mean, do you think that was the reason he got cut? But like, I know I said it live on stream too. I was like, man, I would not want to be David Sills right now. You worked so hard 2 years in a row, take on the roster, and then your first pass you drop. Like, damn, man.
I mean, that, you know what? That's a sign to the team. We're not putting up with it anymore. If you can't make it, you can't do the plays. We don't need you. We don't want you. I mean, it's getting down to that. I mean, the coaches are now coaching for their job, and these players are now playing for a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if they might not be here next year, which I see that, you know, this team's going to be completely different again next year.
You really think that?
Well, look, I mean, Hernandez ain't coming back. Price ain't coming back. Sakura ain't coming back. Solder's going to be gone. So, I mean, Thomas and
At least on, I'd say this, at least on the offensive line. Okay, so we know we're gonna have Thomas. If by the grace of God Nick Gates is fine, we'll have Gates back.
yes.
I wouldn't say Hernandez is gone just yet because at this
Dude, he's a turnstile.
I was literally about to say while he is
He's
in his rookie year, he's not terrible. He's not terrible.
Dude, you realize how many stunts him and Solder blew? At that 4th and goal, you realize that they're the reason why we got crushed in the backfield. Solder did a
He's
belly
not
flop,
terrible.
didn't even touch anybody. Hernandez got knocked on his can because that's where the push was gone, and those guys came in and stopped.
You just said it yourself, though. That's more on Solder than it is Will. If you're playing next to a bad right tackle as a right guard, you're just gonna affect your performance.
You know what? No, that's man on man. That's helmet on helmet. That's goal line package. There's nothing special about it.
So we can't use that defense for any other tackle / guard anyway, then.
Not on a goal line stance like that. Dude, it's 1 yard. It's not even a yard. It's a half a yard. The ball was...
We have the worst red zone and goal line offense in the league. Good offensive line or not.
You're right, but a lot of that's, false start. A lot of other stupid freaking penalties, not knowing the right play. I mean, Engram got blown up on quite a few blocks too. Rudolph got blown up on quite a few blocks. I'm not blaming this on just one person. You're right. It is the whole offensive line. And then what's a running back supposed to do? But you know what? It's a half a freaking yard.
And I agree with you. And speaking of running backs, I still don't like Devontae Booker that much. That dude, most of the time he's running, and he has good runs here and there, but they're so far in between that it's not enough to convince me of anything.
Right.
It seems like he runs to the line and he stops, or he runs and he slows down and he gets to the line. And it's just like, it doesn't work because he's trying to be patient and have a hole open up, but you can't be patient if you come to a full stop.
Yeah, but there again, though, we're asking, these guys, you got to move somebody. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, there was a couple runs Booker had that I liked because he waited for the blocks. I think it was off the right side with Solder and Hernandez. But, if we're going to fix this offensive line, I'm sorry, Hernandez is not the guy. I mean, he cannot pick up a stunt to save his life.
What do you think about Skura as a practice squad guy? Because he is a practice squad guy.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I was doing this draft, the first thing I would do is I would look and get an interior lineman for $6 million a year. Now, we've been breaking down a little bit of the cap next year. We should have about 55 million to spend. And people are like, how? And it's like, well, you get rid of Solder, get rid of Martinez, get rid of Bradbury.
Damn, you want to get rid of Martinez and Bradbury?
Dude, I don't know about his knee, my guy. I mean, ACL. Is Bradbury really worth keeping around for 16 million a year?
Yeah, I think so, because we didn't have a pass rush until week 7.
But he we have way too
Ask
much.
the best corner. Ask Jalen Ramsey to come over to the Giants and try to cover. And you know what you could look at to do that? Look at his last couple of days with the Jaguars, his last
I
couple of games when the Jaguars had no pass rush, and tell me how he did.
you know what? I like Bradbury, but I mean he's going to be another year older. I don't want to say he's losing a step, but he's not. I don't want to pick on a player and say he's not playing the way he was last year, but there's just a subtle difference this year. I mean, he's had a lot of completions on him. Now, whether that's no pass rush, whatever the case may be, he's going to be 30, 29, 30, 30, so he'll be 30 next year.
No, 29.
29 next year?
Yeah.
He's still getting up there for a corner. I mean, look at some of the receivers that are out here in the league now.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree because we can't just look at Bradbury and say his performance has fallen off without saying literally every single thing on the defense has fallen off. You could you already spoke pass rush because I brought that up. How about our linebackers not making any tackles? How about the fact that for the first 7 weeks, let's admit that Patrick Graham has done a terrible job as a defensive coordinator. Like, there's a lot of things going into this.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what? We got a guy that's going to get some time this year to see if he can fill Bradbury's shoes. If he can fill Bradbury's shoes, that 3rd round pick, you know what? Let Bradbury go. I mean, we got a corner that's, if he shows potential, we got a replacement.
This is what I'm going to ask you. We're not even sure on the timeline of Aaron Robinson's debut. Obviously, we all hope it's week 8, but I'll be honest with you, I think it's going to be after the bye week, which is going to be week 11.
Probably,
and even
yes.
if he does that, you're really going to base replacing Bradbury off of what, 7 weeks of football of a rookie?
Why not?
Because I don't think that's a big enough sample size. And we didn't bring him in to do that. I thought we brought him in for Darnay.
I do. I just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if we cut Martinez, we get rid of the punter. But there's some cuts we can make. I didn't say we had to, but I'm just saying, 14 million goes a long way into a team that we want the trenches built. So I mean, with free agency, we could look at a decent nose tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody where we can run a 3-4 and a 4-3 if we have Ojulari, because the first pick in the draft, whether it's ours or the Bears, I want the best edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Then with the second first round pick, I want the best center or right tackle.
Uh-huh.
And then with the second round pick, move back up into the first, into the late 20s. If there's a guy there, let's say you got the center, you look at a right tackle if he's there. Mm-hmm. If he's not there, you keep the second round pick, take the best player available. And you know what? That's where, again, we might have to go into the free agent market again to get a backup swing tackle. But we're going to have to do something because now we need depth.
Wouldn't Pert be a backup swing tackle?
Well, you know what? They said that Pert was learning how to play guard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, he was learning it, and we've had so many injuries at guard. I mean, they didn't even consider sliding him over there.
Exactly.
I think it's a safe bet to say he would be the backup swing tackle because I believe we are going to draft a tackle.
But then start him at guard so that he keeps the experience. Because now listen,
you want me to be honest? If we draft a guard in the second round, which I want us to do, because I want us to go tackle edge or edge tackle then guard, then I'm not.
I want a true center. I really want a true center. That's what I want, because that is a hard position. If you're a guard your whole, 4 years of your career, now you're asked to be a center. That's a different skill set. Calling out blocking schemes and plays and pass protection.
You wouldn't trust Nick Gates there then?
Dude, I'm not going to rely on Nick Gates. He's had 7 surgeries on that leg.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he might be good to go in 2 years, but I really would not expect, and this is coming from somebody that broke his leg in 2 places. Now, I
Mhm.
broke both my legs at the same time. It took me 3 years to recuperate from that. And I never got completely healthy. So the break that he had, the way it happened, it's I hope he can come back, but it's all going to depend on how that bone heals, what the break was. We really don't have a lot of information on that. But average scenario is it's going to be he's going to be out next year and then be back the following year if he can do it.
Would you take a
Because
chance on a guy? I'm looking at the free agent center list for 2022. Would you take a chance on the current Patriot center, Ted Karras?
look, do you guys after Nate Solder, do you want more Patriots players?
Well, I mean, we can't judge like that. We're judging off of how they're doing right now, are we not?
Bro, I just asked a question. I
And
mean,
I'm responding to it.
well, you know
Are we
what?
gonna judge Ted Karras off of Nate Solder?
Well, here's the thing, though, is how many times do we say Patriots players don't work on other teams? It's not just the Giants. It's not just
you
Solder.
believe that for Ted Karras?
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying what everybody has a tendency of hopping aboard the train of, look, Patriots players don't pan out. They only work in New England because we've seen them leave, not work, go back to New England. They fit that system. That's all I'm saying.
All right. What
So
about? All right. So I'll change the guy to Ram center Austin Corbett.
how much is he going to cost? Because I don't want to pay $12, $14 million for a center for 3 or 5 years.
Well, if you are getting one in free agency, what's your limit?
Well, see, that's where I want to draft the center. I mean, that Linderbaum, I think that would be, if we have to move up a couple of
I was about to
spots.
say the thing is with Linderbaum, that means you're using one of the first round picks.
Well, that would be fine because my first pick would be edge. My second pick would be center. That's great. Beautiful.
Mhm.
All right. And getting a
Why not take one of the top tackles instead of a center though?
well, you guys said you wanted to, have Pert there.
No, I said I wanted Pert as the backup swing tackle.
You want Pert as the backup swing tackle? Then if free agency, you're still looking at $15 to $18 million a year. That's going to eat into that 55 big time.
15 for what?
To get a right tackle, you're
No,
going to be spending 15.
Wait, I don't think you heard my question. I'm saying why would you choose a center over a starting right tackle? Because the tackle class, once again, just like the
is
edge
very
class
deep.
strong. Yeah.
Very deep. The center class, it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather have a stud center. Again, that goes back to Tyler Badias. Everybody wanted.
I want him sadly.
He's looking pretty good. There's a few
who did we
other
draft over him? Because he went in the 5th round to the Cowboys, and I was so angry we didn't take him because we had so many chances to take him.
Yes.
Oh man, who did we select in the 5th round that year? That was 2020, right? Who was our 5th round pick? Why isn't he coming to my mind?
But that that's how important a center is right now for this team more than a tackle, because Matt Pert's getting valuable reps at left tackle right now, and he graded out really good in pass protection last week, like against some really good pass rushers. Those guys were good. I mean, that defense was ranked 3rd. You could say Carolina stinks all you want, but that was.
This is what I'll say to the tackle over center in the 1st round thing, and you just gave me another piece of information to support my argument, is that every single year there are great centers who should go in the 1st. They always drop. There's always centers that drop into the mid rounds. Tyler Biadasz is an example. That center that went to the Saints. What's his name that went to the Saints also 2 years ago? He was supposed to go mid 1st round. He went like end 2nd round or something like that, right? There's always centers available in the mid rounds. But when we look at tackles, it's not like that.
So you're going to take a chance, even though you want to fix the O-line, that, okay, so I'm going to take an edge and a right tackle and pray to God he's there in the 2nd.
No, I'm getting another center in this. We're not going to act as if this guy out of Iowa is the only good center in the class.
I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about just him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying you're willing to wait into the 2nd round to get your center.
Yeah, I'm more willing to wait to the 2nd to get a good center than I am to get a good tackle.
Okay, but he might not be there.
You keep saying he, and I keep saying there's going to be a good center there.
Well, if you know that, can I have the winning lottery numbers for Saturday night?
You can't. You see how you're flipping it on me, but you used the
How
same
am how
logic
am I?
earlier, Joe. You used the same logic
No.
earlier, going off of history with the Patriots, right? I'm going off of history with the draft. There's always centers in the mid and late rounds. There's not always tackles. So I mean, you could use that, and you know what I'm saying, more power to you. But then I'm gonna take away your Patriots argument from earlier because it's the same logic.
Look, I just think a center's more important to this team right now than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Only because he is the leader of that offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at how well Nick Gates transformed into that role because he was a leader.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one everyone really looked up to. So when he moved to center, everyone listened to him. Having that inside right now for this team is more important to have a future center for the next 10, 12 years, a high center, because everyone wants to fix the O-line. Let's fix the O-line. Start at the one spot that's the most important spot on the offensive line. He handles the ball every play. He reads the defenses. He calls out the blocking schemes. He looks to see where the blitzes are coming. He's always talking to the quarterback. You know, he's that guy that's in charge of that. You know, I mean, people jump offside, you snap the ball. It's little stuff like that that really makes a difference in the O-line play. And if you've got that tough guy that's in the center that's not getting pushed back into Daniel Jones, that can go over and knows when to help the right guard, the left guard, because he knows how to read the complete defense, is more important than a right tackle right now. We do not have that leadership on the inside of that offensive line. That's why I'm saying that I want, that's why I'm saying I want the center over the right tackle right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. There's not always great right tackles, but it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Do you view the position center as that important, or do you view this one guy, Tyler
I
Lindenbaum,
view
as
center that important. I played it.
Okay. I can see where you come from, and I respect it. I'm just gonna continue to disagree.
But I can see.
Yeah, because if you were arguing for Tyler Lindenbaum, then I would 100% like see where you're coming from, because we're talking about what people claim to be a generational guy. But if we're talking just about center, once again, I'm gonna fall back on we've seen almost every great center in the league was not a first round pick.
Well, Linderbaum's being great in college, but that does not mean he's 100% going to be an all pro.
Exactly.
I mean, there is a shot in the dark on these guys. I mean, there might be something that we don't know behind the scenes where he might, pardon me, I'm sorry, he might fall. But I'm just viewing the center because we see it every week, that interior line. I mean, just Daniel having Thomas, he was able to manipulate the pocket. And if the center got pushed into
Thomas is the
him,
best left tackle in the league, so
right. But when the center got pushed into him, he could manipulate that and move around it to give himself an extra half a second to a second to make a completion down the field farther. So just having that, and if you have Thomas and somebody who's going to hold the center so that he's always got a nice pocket that can pick up blitzes, that can call out blocking schemes. When somebody doesn't have that knowledge or that repertoire in their bag of tricks or playing, these kids have been doing it in college for 4 years. I mean, that's why they're pointing their hand out. That's why they're doing all that stuff. I mean, I'd love to have Linderbaum. I mean, I do think I watched him play. I watched him in a game, and he just bulldozes everybody. I mean, he's got that fire. He's got that, it factor, I guess, right now. He's going to be a hot commodity on the market.
Mhm.
So could he go top 10? Yeah, he very well could be coming top 10.
And then one thing we do agree on is the fact that we need an edge in the first.
Yes. Yes, we do, because we got to get
Which is
that guy
where
next to Aziz.
which is where I'm gonna disagree with the Rand in the comments. He was like, "All right, then fine, get a center and tackle and get an edge at the second." Nah, I'm not getting an
No.
edge at the second. Get an edge. How long has it been since we drafted edge in the first? JPP?
Yeah, JPP would be the last one.
Yeah. And by the way, Jeff Saturday was I don't even think Jeff Saturday was drafted because he was bringing up as Peyton how important the
He was,
center is.
yeah,
Just referring to draft position, which is my argument. Jeff Saturday, I'm pretty sure, was an undrafted free agent.
he was. He was an undrafted free agent. But then again, I mean, so we've had quite a few offensive linemen on the Giants that were, late rounds, 6th, 7th rounds and undrafted. I
The
missed
line
it
that everybody likes
probably.
to talk about, the 07 one, was mostly made up of mid and late round guys.
Yeah, David Deal
Yeah.
and those
But
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting back to the edge, I've said it a lot. For the sake of them not hearing me all the time, why is it the first? Why do we need an edge in the first? All right. Explain to them why it's so important to get a legit
Look at what this
certified
defense.
edge rusher in the first
Look
round.
what this defense did with something of a pass rush. We pressured him 22 times,
Mm-hmm.
29 times. It was an ungodly number that we got back there to Sam Darnold. Confused the hell out of him.
Made him see ghosts.
It made him think, made him throw half a second faster. That's why Bradbury got an interception. He threw off his back foot.
Mm-hmm.
When you can confuse the quarterback, that's why I've been hollering for the last 6 weeks, run some line stunts, run a twist. And then you see Leo Williams run a twist up the inside. He gets sacks. And it's like all of a sudden we stop doing it.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a guy that can go inside, outside like Leo, and you put somebody next to him, then you have somebody like Dexter come over to the right side of the center, which would be the one hole. And then you have Dexter come around to the second. And if those two guys are stunting, that means the center's got to pick up one of them too, because there's going to be shooting the gaps. So that makes your blitzer, your fifth man, your linebacker, or Peppers, whoever it is, has a shot up the hole instead of running a double A gap blitz. And you got to bring 6 people. You run a twist on the inside, you can only have to bring 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you run that on the edges, the outside. You have your left edge rusher come inside. Dexter would cut out to the outside, and Leo would cut to the inside. And that way you're also containing, because you got Dexter coming around on the outside. You got Leo coming into where Dexter was. And then you got the outside edge rusher, let's say Ojulari, looping behind Dexter coming up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to confuse stuff out. And if you've got somebody on the right-hand side that they have to chip with the tight end, or the running back really has to look at a solid edge rusher who's a definite threat of getting back there.
And I was going to say, because we're talking specifically first round, with edge rushers, it's really hard to miss on a first round edge rusher. It happens, yes, but it's got to be one of the lowest percentages for a first round pick, right?
Oh, man, there's so many edge rushers coming out. I mean, I like that Johnson kid out of Florida State, because there's no way we're going to be able to get Thibodeau. I mean, you got to figure the Eagles are probably going to try to grab him if they draft right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to. Huh?
Jermaine Johnson?
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson. He's like 6'6", 265. I mean, the kid was ACC Defensive Player of the Week 1 against Notre Dame. They lost, but my God, he.
And everybody's been telling me about Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan as well.
That's another one. Yep. I mean, this class is going to be deep in edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we get the center and an edge rusher, the second round pick.
By the way, a really fun fact about Jermaine Johnson, FSU, right? Same college as Brian Burns, which I wanted Burns back in 2019. But also, Jermaine Johnson used to be part of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes.
So he has experience with Kirby Smart's defense, which is one of the biggest reasons I said Aziz would fit well with us, because Kirby Smart and Patrick Graham's defense are very similar to each other.
Well, that might be a problem next year, because isn't this Graham and Garrett's last year under contract?
We don't know actually, because I've tried to look that up several times. There's no way for me to find what their
Well,
contract details
you
are.
remember last year or last spring, the players were like really happy because Graham signed for another year and they got him back.
So that, but
And
that would imply that he signed a 1-year deal though initially.
Yeah, yeah, he signed a 1-year deal initially. Then he re-signed another year for this year. And Garrett, when they signed him, was only a 2-year deal. This is his second year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to lose Graham and you're going to lose Garrett. And the way Garrett's coaching up Daniel Jones right now and making that offense starting to look pretty good with, XFL players, it wouldn't surprise me if the Raiders don't give him a call. Jacksonville might give him a call. All depends on what happens with Urban Meyer and his girlfriend that he tried to meet in Ohio, and things didn't work out too well.
And
I
real
mean,
quick,
even the
shout out to
Eagles.
everybody that's tuning in. Frankie G, Miz, Edward. I think I saw James in here. Nerding Out Sports, T6 of Saints fan, tuning in. Sedan Smith, King Tone. Go ahead there, man.
Well, Nerding Out thinks that we signed Graham to a 3-year. I thought it was just another 1 year. Maybe it was 3 years.
I can't find it. Like I can go right now with a Patrick Graham contract. It's just not public, I think.
I don't think it is either. So.
Oh no, it is actually. Hold up, it is a 3-year deal.
Is it a 3-year?
3 years. Yep, it is.
Okay, but that's, still, I mean, if he wants to get a head coaching job somewhere and they call up, I mean, the owners meeting got together, so they got another Rooney Rule. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I figured Graham's probably going to get a few calls because he was kind of a hot candidate last year. He's probably going to get some interviews this year.
Not me, the Ran. I mean, Garrett's had a couple of good games, but not enough for me to say I like him.
Yeah, I'm probably in the same boat. I mean, I'm not upset at him that I want him fired. I'd like to keep the staff together as much as possible because I like what I see.
If anything, just for the benefit of Jones.
Yes. I mean, Daniel's really picking up this Garrett offense. I mean, week 2, he looked good. Week 3, he looked good. Week 4, he looked good.
It's just the red zone. This has been before Garrett. We've sucked in the red zone for about a good amount of years now.
Yeah, in trying to figure that out. But, when your offensive line can't push a half a yard, and everybody wants Daniel to throw 25, 30, 35 touchdowns a year. I mean, guys, we get down into the 5-yard line. Joe Judge wants to run the ball. That's his game plan. We saw it last year. I mean, we were scoring a touchdown a week, but it was all from the running backs. Did we get down there close, whatever? And yeah, it's almost like our receivers can't get open and can't run a route to save their life down there. So, I mean, having Robinson and Galladay and Tony down there would definitely help. And I'm sure Daniel would have more touchdown passes, but throwing to Pettis and come on, Kyle Rudolph, Evan Ingram. Who's he supposed to throw the ball to down there? I just don't. I don't see a lot of alternatives. Do you want Daniel Jones really throwing a shovel pass? You're muted.
I just realized
boss.
I was muted. Yeah, we have no idea when Kenny Galladay's coming back either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but if we can beat the Chiefs and, lose to the Raiders, or we lose to the Chiefs and beat the Raiders, I mean, one of those, if we could just win one of those 2 games, that would be such a statement win right now for this team. I think Kansas City one would be a bigger statement game. Defending champs, been to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. They are playing bad football right now. If we could win that game, I think people would take more notice. Hey, oh, wait a minute. Maybe they're not so bad. Or are the Chiefs really that bad? So
what do you think we could be at the end of the season if we go into Arrowhead? I'm not gonna say win. We keep it competitive. Like you said, we put them notice, and we make them think are the Giants somewhat good. We don't
Man,
win. We keep it competitive.
my hardest part right now is I don't know what team I'm going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to see the team that played the Rams, or am I going to see the team that played the Saints, or am I
For
going to
me, what
see
I'm
the
questioning is what defense I'm gonna see because I feel like we know what offense we're gonna see.
I think the offense we're going to move the ball. We do really well moving the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But you're absolutely right. And then, special teams played pretty good last week too. What are they going to be able to, are they going to follow up? I mean, Peppers was back there. I mean, he was getting 10 yards returns just about every time until he got smoked that one time and got injured. But man, because if we look at our schedule, we got Kansas City, the Raiders. We have a bye week, and then we got Tampa Bay, and we always play like crap after a bye. We never play good.
But we've always played Tampa Bay good. For
Yeah,
years
but
now, we've always played
we've
them good.
never played off of a bye. We lose every time. You can go back 50 years. My God, I think we might have won
You talking
5
about
out of.
really?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Dude, our record on after a bye is horrible.
I didn't know that.
Man,
I didn't
we
know
put
going back
up
that far.
We put up stinkers for years after a bye. All right, man, Google that one. Giants record after a bye. It's garbage.
And then after that, we got Eagles, Dolphins, Chargers, the boys, Eagles. I almost said Cubs, Bears, and then Washington.
And that's just it. The only one we really should lose to is the Chargers because we're traveling out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the only
you
game.
think we have a chance in every other one?
Well, we should
Even
beat
the
the
bye
Eagles
week game.
twice. We should beat the Eagles twice. We should beat Washington at home for the last week. We should be able to go in and beat Chicago. If New England can go in there and put up 54, we should be able to go in there and put up 30.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, I just want to beat Dallas. I just want to smoke them. And I think they might be up for that game. Division rivals. I mean, that's always a tough game. Yeah, Duran Osmond, no matter what we do for the rest of the season, beating the Eagles twice, it's a winning season for me.
We need to beat the Eagles twice just out of principle after last year. Just out of principle.
You got that right. The Chargers and Dallas game is going to be the question, but we should win the rest of them. And then if we can get to 7 or 8 wins, I mean, that's a plus, especially for all the injuries and everything that we've had. I mean, guys were dropping like flies, and yet somehow we're still, moving the ball. The defense, that we got depth on the defense. We didn't have any depth on the offense. A bunch of young guys that are trying to fill spots that they're not ready to do it yet. So, but I'm, everyone's complaining fix the old line. Well, the old line doesn't give up 40 points per game. I mean, if we were losing, 14-17, 10-14, if we were losing like that, I'd say, that's the old line. But when we're putting up 25 points, 30 points, the defense is giving up 40. You guys, that ain't fixed the old line. That's fixed the defense.
What up,
Nate?
What's up, guys? Had a few minutes. I figured I'd come on and talk some ball with you guys, talk some Giants. I see Jabrill Peppers out for the season is the title of this stream, so I felt like this was the right energy to come in with. A little bit depressed, not quite too energetic,
It's fine.
That's kind of just how it is at the moment. Jabrill Peppers, for me, the biggest tragedy here is that we can't trade him now because I don't see him having a future with the team, unfortunately. As much as that sucks, I just don't think he's got a place with us for cap reasons and for other reasons. It's just not probably going to work out. But, yeah, I mean, you guys are talking about this Chiefs game, talking about the defense, talking about the many, many problems with this team. Let's be honest. I think if you want to talk about what's the most severe, what's the biggest problem, you can talk circles and circles around that in terms of what your opinion is for what's most important, what your priorities are for a team. That's entirely subjective. I think the first thing we have to do is address at least one of them, because we really haven't. So on offensive line, obviously we have a pick high, 1, and we have another pick to potentially get an edge rusher. And I think I and a lot of people have been saying this class is rich in everything we need. So on defense, I think our issues. The thing is, and I mean, you guys are talking about this. Which team are you going to get? I think we've shown that if we can figure a few specific things out and then add maybe a couple of pieces on defense, we're fine. We're fine. It's just a matter of we need to be able to get to the quarterback. Because one thing that a lot of people bring up, very rightly so, like I think Authentic was kind of the first guy to start talking about this, and people have since sort of grabbed onto it. Our defense has really struggled against good quarterback play. And I think part of the reason...
I'll give credit to Mr. Rome. He was the first person I heard talking about that.
Sure. Well, I think part of the reason for that is that we absolutely cannot get pressure against quarterbacks. We just can't do it. And the first time we were really getting consistent pressure was last week against Carolina, as far as I could see. And that only happened later in the game, really. So for me, I think, and I've been saying this for a while, I think so many of your problems are going to be solved on defense once you find a real, true premier edge threat. And there's a lot of that in the draft to pick up. Obviously, you still need a linebacker. At that point, you're kind of looking at your defense, looking for small adjustments, tweaks to make. And then on offense, it's offensive line.
Joel, just because I got Balby in the back, I got Zeke, I got Jaden. Let me get your last thought. It could be a response to that. I'll pop you out, and then I'll get these guys in.
How about my prediction where I told you DJ'd be a top 10 quarterback this year?
He looking top 15.
Top 10, I'm telling you.
I mean,
by the end of the year, maybe. I'll say this. I mean, he's my guy. He's my guy.
That's exactly the point. Here's what I'll say. You can still look at his game this year and find some things that need to and will get better. But Jesus, how can you look at what this guy's doing and not say, yeah, that's my guy? He's running over defensive tackles, making highlight reel Odell-style catches.
He was PFF's number 1 receiver this week.
Look at the heart that this guy's playing with, the stuff he's putting on game film. How can you look at that and not say that's my quarterback?
At that point, people, I don't even think haters is the right term. They just want to be right. They want to feel right about him.
That's the sickness, the epidemic in Giants fandom, is that so many people would rather be right than be happy, which is pathetic.
Mm-hmm. But Joel, thank you for calling in, man. Guys,
thanks for having me on, my guy.
Good to talk to you for a few minutes.
When's the next fishing stream? When's the next barbecue?
Dude, I haven't been able to fish. I mean, it's been downpouring here all day.
Yeah.
You're
getting the remnants of that nor'easter, Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right there with you.
At 7:00, my phone went ballistic to tell me flash flood warnings were in my area. To stay off the roads.
Does your area get flash flood? You guys are right by the mountains.
That river.
Like,
that river right down the road for me. You guys went walking down the trail. That's kind of high right now.
I'm in a valley between 2 rivers, and I get flash flood warnings all the time.
Yep.
Did you see any bears?
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, I'm talking to Joel.
Bears live in my house.
But wow, okay. Then Joel, have you seen any bears recently?
No, we don't have no bears, but my buddy's got a picture of a bobcat right behind the place here on a trail camera.
Yeah, we got those too.
Yeah.
Wait, Joel, do you have a trail camera?
No, I don't. I use his. I just see what he takes pictures of.
That would be great content for the channel. Trail camera. I binge watch trail camera videos sometimes.
Do you really?
Yeah, because it's really interesting to see what animals are passing through.
No, it's been lousy for fishing this year. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't doing it no more. Just the water temperature was as hot as it got, weedy, and. Let me get out of here so you can get my guy Joseph on the channel. See how many interceptions he's got this week, guys.
Facts.
All right.
Joseph.
Take care.
Have a good one, Joel. Thank you for calling in, man. Before I bring Joseph on, shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. He said New York Giants should win against Kansas City losers easily if our defense shows up to dominate and motivate the offense to play with confidence. I don't know about easily, but the first thing that needs to happen is the defense showing up. I'll agree with that. And shout out to Max Webster. in the chat. What up, Max? How you doing? Says don't get too high off the last win. Every time we do, we lose. So stay low. Joseph, you heard the
Yeah.
man, bro. How many interceptions you got for us this week?
This week, I mean, last week I didn't get none. I only had like 2 tackles.
What's your
it was a
season
pretty
stats, bro?
2 picks, probably like 7, 8 tackles. I got in late as a starter. I
Yeah.
used to be a backup, and then I just worked my way up. Now I'm a starter.
All right, you got a couple of more to go. In my freshman year, I still wasn't a quarterback yet. I was a DB, and I had 4. You got a
Do
couple
you
more to
still
go
play,
there,
Nate?
Joseph.
Are you playing right now?
Nah,
Ah, damn.
not
You
for
have
senior
4
year.
picks, Nate? That's crazy.
Yeah, against some terrible quarterbacks, but yeah.
Yeah.
What made you not play senior year?
Senior year, so a few reasons. Number one, the team switched coaches and were awful, and there's like half of the numbers you'd expect. Number two, I'm really just devoting time to college searches. Number three, Hart wasn't in it. Didn't play last year with
Damn.
COVID in the school.
It's so
Kinda just
time
killed it for
consuming
me.
too.
Sorry?
Mm.
It's so time consuming.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like-
Anyone who's played high school ball knows it is your life for a couple
It
months.
literally is. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I come home like eat, and then I have to do homework at like 8, 9 o'clock. So
And
Yeah.
I will say, as much as I miss playing, because I love football so much, as much as I miss it, I did not miss it today when my buddies who were still on the team were getting out of their cars as I was getting in my car ready to go practice in a monsoon. That I did not
Oh
miss.
my god. Terrible. But Joseph, yeah, man, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm happy the Giants got the dub. You know, Jabrill's out. I mean, personally, I don't really. I want Jabrill. I don't see him in the future, like Nate said. You know, I just don't really see it. So I mean, it kind of sucks. We can't really trade him. I would love to trade him, get some value out of him, but we're gonna have to keep him, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's saying what I'm saying. I wanted Jabril to be one of a few guys that we traded at the deadline. Evan Ingram is another one of those guys. Someone was mentioning it in chat earlier. There's a bunch of guys that probably should, for the future of the team, be traded this year. Unfortunately, with the injury, not going to happen.
Yeah, it can't happen. Is Mahomes playing next week?
I yesterday when I was on stream, a couple people in stream said that Andy Reid said he was gonna play.
Okay, so I don't think we have a high chance of winning that game. Then I would like to compete. I don't see a win. You know, we're going to Arrowhead. Arrowhead's very hard to play at Arrowhead, especially in prime time too. It's not a good recipe for us. Not a good recipe for us at all.
I mean, let's be real. The Chiefs at this point, there's two possibilities. Possibility one, although it may be a little bit of a stretch, it is one of the two possibilities, is that we go into Arrowhead Stadium, get a win, and this is the week where everyone says, all right, the Chiefs are bad this year. Possibility two, which is far, far more likely, is that we are a get-right game for the Chiefs of epic proportions, and then they're going to go on to do what we all expect them to do and make it into the playoffs again this year.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Wait, what is possibility 3? We keep it competitive?
I would like to. I mean, I would like to keep it within 10. It's just really hard to keep up with Mahomes. The way our defense been playing this year. Oof.
I
then
kind
I'll-
of just
I'll-
think.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of just think in terms of possibility 3 that you're putting out there, either we're gonna win a close, disgusting football game, or we're gonna get our asses kicked. That's just how I see it with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, when it rains, it pours with that offense.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it poured with the Rams offense. So I mean, what about with the Chiefs defense that every Giants fan wants to bank on that wants us to win this game? The terrible Chiefs defense.
I mean, what
And
do we
by the
have
way,
on
Miz,
offense?
that's pretty cool. He said he played linebacker and quarterback at the same time when he was in high school.
Yeah, a lot of guys
Cool,
do that.
man.
A lot of guys that play
Hey.
QB or linebacker have some good size. To
You
them,
were
so
a
they can
top
play both
QB in
ways.
the city, my guy. I'm gonna have to look you up, Miz. That's what's up.
That's crazy.
Let's go.
What high school did you
Let's
go
go,
to?
Miz.
Yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, go. Yeah, so what about this Chiefs defense? Any one of y'all?
You know, I mean,
tackle it?
yeah, I got you. You know, Daniel Jones can cook. You know, I mean, we've clearly seen it this year. He just needs to play smart football. Is Goddard coming back or no?
Who the hell knows?
I don't know. Okay, then you know, I think Daniel Jones should keep doing what he's doing. You know, he's balling out. And he'll definitely pick apart this Chiefs defense. We just have to just get 6 every single, like if we're in the red zone and we're in inside the 10, we have to get 6 no matter what. We can't settle for 3 or go for it on 4th down and not get it. We need 6 every single time to keep up with that Chiefs offense.
Yeah, I think Joseph's hitting on everything here. I mean, everything he's saying, absolutely money. For me, it's just you cannot, under any circumstances, if it becomes an offensive game, which it very well could, you cannot trade field goals for touchdowns against the Chiefs. It's just not going to work. That is an easy way to get blown out. But in terms of the defense, yeah, the Chiefs' defense is trash this year. It's bad. And it hurts me to see a Steve Spagnuolo defense be so bad. That hits a little too close to home, personally. But, hey, if it gives us an opportunity to win, we'll take it. And I think the big question is going to be, who's here for us? Who's here going against that Chiefs defense? What are our receivers looking like? Is Shep going to be able to play the whole game? You never know with him. Is Galladay going to suit up? Is Tony going to suit up? Is Barkley going to suit up? All those 3 at the moment look unlikely, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just, is Andrew Thomas going to be able to suit up? It's tough. We've screwed ourselves royally. I mean, me and a lot of other people were scared of this in the Rams game when we saw that Tony and Thomas were playing. We just thought this is going to ruin us for long term, and it has. So I think at this point, it's just a matter of who's going to exploit the other team's weakness the best, and will Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid wake up?
Yeah, I hope we could definitely get a win. Or I hope if we get a win, I feel like definitely we have a chance the season to rejolt. Like, I think we have a chance back again if we win this game. I don't know, make the playoffs. Hopefully. I mean, I highly doubt it. I would love it. I just don't see it this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's just so much wrong with this team. Listen, crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
We'll say that. There's
I mean, we
always
were
something
1-7
crazy.
last year.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, this year there's likely anyway no easy division win waiting for you if you get 7 wins, because Dallas looks like they're going to be competitive this year for real. Of course, we say that every year, but until it happens, we can't predict a spontaneous combustion in Dallas. So I think you're really going to have to try and fight for a wild card spot if you want any chance. You're going to have to get to 10 wins at least, get to 10-7 if you want a shot at it. We'll see. I mean, we got to get 8 wins if we want that. That's tough, especially with the remaining schedule we have left.
I probably
There's
agree
just
with
so
Big
much
Blue in
wrong.
the Bronx on this one. I could see 3 teams coming out of the NFC West.
Oh, yeah, I can absolutely see that. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I said before the season started that I didn't think the Seahawks were going to go far this year. I thought they had a lot of problems that people were ignoring. And granted, Russell Wilson's been out a couple of weeks now, but still, I just don't see it for the Seahawks this year. But the Rams, great team. Cardinals, great team. And the Niners, if they can figure it out with Trey Lance, can absolutely make some noise. It's an incredibly talented roster. So I can definitely see 3 teams coming out of the NFC West. And the NFC North, this is bad, but the Bears could actually do something if Matt Nagy doesn't ruin Justin Fields. Big if, but it's possible.
Oh
And then
god,
on
that
the other
was
side of the
terrible
ball,
for our first round draft or first round pick.
no one wants to admit it, but Kirk Cousins is not a bad quarterback. And the Vikings have an incredibly talented team. On defense, they have some playmakers again. They're not old as hell like they were last year. They have a solid veteran presence, but they're not basically on the verge of retirement. And on offense, they have Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Irv Smith and Dalvin Cook and all these laundry list of names. So the Vikings could also do some stuff. And then,
They
of
just have
course,
to
you
win
got the
football
South,
games.
which is the Bucs and everyone else.
Yeah. I don't know, but I want to get a Azeez Ojulari. That's
Oh,
my guy. That's my guy.
absolutely.
Oh man, imagine him with like. I mean, I hope we get edge this year, first round this year, because it's pretty loaded. I haven't really looked in too much in the draft, but imagine with like a dominant edge with Azeez Ojulari and Leonard Williams. That'll really set this defense up because it'll help our secondary as well. If we pressure the quarterback, look what happened against Carolina when we pressured Sam Darnold. He couldn't really do anything, and we
I
were
said it in
locking
my
up.
video today. The defense relies and runs through the edge rush.
Yeah.
In my
I mean,
opinion, that's all it is.
Kush, you can tell me how many weeks I've been saying this now, but I think the absolute best way forward for this defense is to move to a 4-man front. draft an edge rusher and slide Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence to defensive tackle spots and put whoever you draft across from Azeez Ojulari. I mean, Azeez Ojulari looks like he can be a really, really solid edge rusher and a playmaker for us. And if we can pair him with like an Aiden Hutchinson, who's my guy I've been screaming from the rooftops for, if we can pair him with like a George Karlaftis, I think we could really have something there.
Yeah, I agree. I expected like 6 sacks for Aziz. He already has like 5.5, right?
He's on
Yep,
pace for
5.5.
13.
He's on pace for 13 as a rookie. That's
Well,
crazy.
on pace, right? It doesn't mean it's gonna
Yeah, I
happen.
mean,
but
yeah.
Of course, yeah.
But
I mean,
Balby,
listen.
go ahead. I was gonna say Balby. Let me get your last thought. Let me get Jaden, then Zeke, and Miz is back here as well. But let me get your last thought there, Bob.
Nothing much really. I hope we get a win on Monday, right? Yeah, Monday.
Don't we all?
Thank
I
God
would
it's
love
on
it.
Monday because Halloween is on Sunday. Thank
Yeah,
God.
Halloween's on Sunday and then Monday. Yeah. I really hope we win. I don't think we're gonna win. I feel like this season, unfortunately, I thought I had high hopes for the season. Obviously didn't work out. We just got to get back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
it for me.
For sure, man. Get an interception for us this week, bro. Have a good one.
Got you. Peace.
And while Kush is bringing on another guest, I'll just say one more thing about Azeez Ojulari. I said this in multiple group chats to multiple people. Azeez Ojulari wildly outproducing Chase Young this year, filed under things you love to see. Anyway, the champ is here. What's
At
up,
least
man?
in sacks.
Yep, of course, man.
What's up, bro?
None. I actually like to win against the Panthers because it's been a long time since we blew somebody out and give them no touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time since 2012 that we won by like 22 or more points at home.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly what it
it
was.
took almost 10 years to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Been a minute.
Solid 9 years, yeah.
yeah, for this season, I don't like our defense at all. I know they played good against the Panthers, but overall, I don't like it. Because I don't like O'Shane and Carter coming off as the edge because that's not been working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens when you change to Quincy Roche and the C starting that edge?
I was
We
about
able to
to
get
say,
more pressure.
what do y'all think about pushing Roche all the way up to starter?
I like where he's at right now. I think Quincy Roche is a talented guy. He was someone that a lot of us had our eye on in the draft as a sort of a pseudo sleeper. That really the only reason he got waived by Pittsburgh is because they had edge rushers out the wazoo, and this was before T.J. Watt got injured. But I think Quincy Roche is a guy that could be something, but we shouldn't push him too far too fast. Keep doing what you're doing, giving him significant reps, getting him some time against quality starters in the NFL. Let him start to build up some momentum.
And I also like the way we used to Tony for this offense.
When he comes back, I can't wait for him to come back, man.
Me either.
There's
dude.
times where he sometimes looks unguardable. I'm not gonna lie. There's certain times on the field where I'm like, nobody's stopping him unless it's from the back. Pause.
And bro, no one thinks of it until you say pause, Kush. You're the only one.
Only like 3 people in the chat knows what pause means, bro. It's okay.
Anyway, though.
Yeah, because everybody in chat is about to go crazy.
Moving on. Yeah, Kadarius Toney is one of those guys that it's just so exciting. Every snap could be a big play with Kadarius Toney, and it's been so long since we've had that. It's so exciting, and when you hear his name on the injury report and you realize he's not going to play, it's just deflating. And it's got to feel like that for the players, too. Bro, it's squad. All right, fine.
All right. Yeah, because look, for Tony, I like him as a receiver. We can use him as a running back, a quarterback. When it comes to trick plays, he's really effective. Because against Dallas, he almost scored.
Yeah. I mean, we just start running this University of Florida style 2-quarterback system here. Daniel Jones, Kadarius Toney, trading out reps.
His name's not Danny Dimes anymore. It's Danny Beckham Jr. now.
No, it's not.
Odell Beckham
All right.
Jones.
Odell looks up to Daniel Jones, all right? Odell wants to be PFF's #1 wide receiver like Daniel Jones is, not the other way around. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones. It's like I was saying earlier. How can you not just think that's your dude? How can you watch him make that play, get right up, toss the ball to the ref like nothing even happened? How is that not the guy? I
mean, I feel like most people should have been convinced. in the loss
sure,
against
sure.
Atlanta when he ran over Tack McKinley.
Sure. Grady Jarrett.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't enough running over Tack McKinley.
I mean, it's like it's not even at this point that he's been so improved and that he's made so many little changes in his game that are showing up in the stat sheet, and that he's getting a big win against a better team, and that he's doing this with poor weapons at his disposal. It's just Daniel Jones is making plays when they need to be made. You know, if this was any other position in any other sport, in any other market, and it was any guy that wasn't named Daniel Jones and wasn't picked number 6 overall by Dave Gettleman, people would be screaming his name from the rooftops by now.
Of course. Listen, can we say this? Offensively, he won that game by himself on the offensive side.
Oh,
I mean, bro, for 7 straight weeks, he's been the best player on our offense. He's consistently showed up to carry the team.
Because look, think about it. He got to throw the football. He has to beat a receiver, and he has to beat a running back.
Mm-hmm.
He probably got to play online at some point.
He's going to be our next offensive tackle. He's got to bulk up a
little.
lot.
Probably, bro.
He's definitely going to be the next tight end.
You know, he actually has a pretty good blocking rate on PFF because, you know, when we do plays like that,
Daniel Jones can actually block, though. I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to Super Taj World. Daniel Beckham Jones. I like that one.
Yeah,
Daniel Beckham
I say
Jones.
OBDJ.
All right. Anyway, though, yeah. Daniel Jones, it's just, this is exactly what I'm talking about. With the stuff he's doing on the field, I don't see how people can still be so obsessed with being right that they refuse to just accept the kid for being a playmaker. Because that's what he is. He's a playmaker.
See what happens when you give Daniel Jones like weapons around him? He's able to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we were all just, until we were blue in the face, saying, give him some stuff to work with and we'll see what he's got. And now we finally give him some stuff to work with, albeit for like 2 games.
Yep.
But while they were there, look what happens. The kid's playing great ball. It's impossible for me to understand.
The main thing I really want to talk about is this Giants defense, really. Because they've been bad every game except for the Panthers. So that's that we able not to get much pressure. Linebackers can't tackle. Safeties or corners can't tackle. Coverage sending zone all day. We all know that doesn't work. Because look, after we score a touchdown on offense, we giving up a touchdown right back.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like teams could do it in 2 plays. That's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. Pat Graham, let me solve all your problems right now, and this can go to Dave Gettleman here. First off, as Kush says, hit the Kentucky Fried Chicken this offseason. Second off, like I've said before, 4-man front, put Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence in defensive tackle spots, draft an edge rusher, put him across from Azeez Ojulari. 2nd round pick, draft a linebacker that runs sub 4.5, put him at the will, make Tay Crowder a rotational guy, assuming Blake Martinez comes back, make the nickel your base package, keep Darnay Holmes on the field and stop benching him for no good reason, make Xavier McKinney your box safety in a money backer role, keep Logan Ryan at free safety for now, and let your corners be aggressive. There, your problems are solved. It's over. Good. Done. Moving on. It's over.
Yeah, I know everybody talking about draft the Iowa center.
Tyler Linderbaum. Good player.
Yeah, I would actually want to draft him because I really want to address the center or tackle because we're going to need both. Then I want an edge.
Honestly, this is going to be sacrilegious to some people, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I would be perfectly fine trading up to get Evan Neal. I would be so okay with that, like from the bottom of my heart.
I also have another question. Why do we keep playing Nate Solder at right tackle when he has not done anything?
Because we're stupid? I don't know. It's a great question.
It's like, why not start Matt Perk? Why not give it a shot?
Yeah, you're asking exactly the right question. Why would you keep putting Nate Solder in there when A, he's arguably worse, and B, the young kid actually might be able to develop into something if you give him reps and coaching, and C, Nate Solder's not going to be here next year. So you're asking the right question. Unfortunately, there's no answer.
Yeah, because
go ahead. Get this out, and then let me get your last thought, so I can get Zeke and then Miz on.
All right. Wait, who's next?
Zeke.
Oh, shout out to Zeke. But, if we're gonna get offensive line, can we get a line that can actually run block this time? Because our run blocking been bad this year.
Yeah. I promise you, Evan Neal can run block. He can everything block.
Yeah, and that's my final thoughts. Sub
Hey
to the
man,
hub and sub to Nate.
Good to see you, champ.
Yep.
I just want to say thank you for calling in, Jaden. Nice talking to you
You're
after a minute, bro. Have a good one.
And while Kush is bringing on his next guest, I'm going to give my final thoughts after Jaden has, because I am going to also go to bed early tonight. Got a long day in front of me. So I think to just sum up my final thoughts for the evening, the Giants' season has been a disaster. Let's get whatever we can out of the rest of it. Draft Evan Neal and Aiden Hutchinson. Final thoughts finished. Good night.
Hey man, Nate. Peace out, man. Thank you for calling in, guys. Check out Nate and Zeke. Welcome on, bro.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I've been doing good. I just want to say that the Giants have a chance. Like I don't think we're gonna beat the Chiefs. To be honest with you, but the only way we're gonna beat the Chiefs if this defense steps up and if Kenny Galladay suits up and Tony, at least Shepard. I don't know, but I don't think we're gonna win this game. To be honest with you.
It's a game that listen. People are kind of being fooled by the Chiefs' rough start to the season, is what I'll say. They're still the Chiefs. They're still 100% a playoff contender to me until they're mathematically eliminated from playoff contention.
Even though they have a bad defense, we probably got a chance, but my prediction is we're going to lose. But my opinion, I don't think the score is gonna be like I don't feel like it's gonna be like a Rams game. Like I think we might lose I'll say 30 to 23, 25 around there.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
I can't predict what the score might be, but I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna say what Nate said, which is what I think if we win, it's gonna be close, scrappy. I think if we lose, it might not be so close.
Yeah, but I don't know. Joel said that he wants a center. I wouldn't mind that center from Iowa. I think think he's from, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind that dude from Texas A&M.
Do you know his name?
No, I don't
I
think
have not
so.
started looking at draft stuff yet, so I would not know.
He's a right tackle.
Oh, right tackle. I thought you said it was a center.
No, not center.
You there?
Yeah. I don't know,
Are you?
but I'll take any online to be honest with you. But first round, like the first pick, has to be Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Edge, I'll take that dude. I don't know what. I think it's I forgot his name. But do you think in the second round we should get if I don't think Blake Martinez with his knee injury. I think in the second round we should get like a middle linebacker.
With
Some
our first three picks, I want to go tackle, edge, or edge tackle, and then inside lineman. And then after that, I'd probably look at getting another middle linebacker.
yeah, because I don't know if Blake Martinez can be like the same from this ACL. And I'm really surprised from some middle linebacker we signed. I forgot his name. Ben Kenny, something like that.
Yeah, he has the same last name as McKinney. McKinney.
Yeah, McKinney. He surprised me, especially in the run stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm trying to like, I want the Giants to get like a run stopping middle linebacker, or maybe like a tackle, like a nose tackle that could stop the run.
I think
That's what we really
if we
need.
get a nose tackle that does stop the run, it would just help out all our middle linebackers with stopping the run. What we need is, what we've been looking for years is a middle linebacker in the past game.
Like a coverage middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think we need. My opinion, I don't think we need to. We don't need any corners. Do you think we need corners?
Um, kind of a switch to a different position, but if we keep Bradbury, I'm still not sure if Adori's been worth the signing. But like I've said in defense of Bradbury, is the same defense for Adori. It's not like the pass rush has been there, the rest of the defense has been there. If we get another corner, it would probably be to replace one of those guys' contract. But I'm comfortable with our corner room right now.
Um, what's it? Aaron Robinson. We have. I don't know if he's gonna be a good player, to be honest.
I don't think anybody necessarily does until we see him hit the field.
Until you see him on the field, yeah. But my opinion, I think we have to go edge first, and then a center or a tackle, and then maybe a defensive lineman in the second round or a middle linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
But what you call it? You think that Saquon will be back in for the Kansas City Chiefs game?
No, we would have heard something by now. And I'm glad that they're taking their time with him. I have no idea when he is going to be back, but not against KC. I have a feeling we're going to see everybody back after the bye week, which is a good amount of time from now, but I would be fine with that.
Because I see a rumor saying that he's not in IR, so they're expecting him to be in the Kansas City Chiefs or maybe Tampa Bay or Raiders game around there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could see it being Tampa Bay, which is after the bye week.
Good thing we're not rushing him, to be honest.
I agree with you 100% for all the guys that we have injured.
Like, and Andrew Thomas, I think we shouldn't dress him up for the Rams game. I don't think we should dress him up for the Rams game because that's probably why he's injured even more from his foot, right?
Yeah, it could be. It could 100% be why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more on the coaching and training staff, you know what I mean?
What do you feel about Jabrill Peppers?
I'm sad that he's injured, but I don't think it's as big as a hit to the team as some people want to say it is because we have people that could fill that safety role as of right now on the team.
Didn't the Giants sign a safety, I guess?
Sign a safety?
Yeah, some J.R. Reed, something like that, to the practice squad.
I mean, we're not gonna bring up a guy from the practice squad to fill in Jabrill Peppers' role.
No. Oh yeah, no.
But yeah, Zeke, let me get your last thought before I pop you on, man.
No, sub to the hub. Peace.
Hey man, thank you for calling in, bro. Have a good one.
You too.
Miz, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Hub? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, just to answer his question, they brought up J.R. Reed from the practice squad onto the roster. Like you said, I don't think he's gonna play much. He's gonna keep the bench nice and warm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Peppers is one of my favorites, but I agree with you. It's not the biggest loss. Time to let McKinney grow, and we got enough to fill the role. Although he is a full leader.
Yeah, we got McKinney, we got Julian Love back there. Some people have even been saying if Aaron Robinson plays, he could potentially be at the safety role as well. So we got players.
Yeah, we have players. I'm not worried about that. He'll be missed as a leader. He's definitely the verbal leader
the hype man
in the locker room. Yeah, so and the type of guy you want to go to war with because you know that he'll fight somebody for you. He's a tough guy. So that's where we will miss him.
100%. I mean, he brought us that energy in the overtime for the Saints.
Yeah, and he brought the energy last week, and he gave the speech in the locker room after the game, about how this is how you got to play and all that. So he definitely wears the jersey, with his heart on it. He's one of the players that cares. You'll never see him really quit. But I think he might have played his last game in a Giants uniform, unfortunately.
Really? Okay. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people have been saying that, and I don't blame them. because he was one of those players that was on kind of question mark, and before the injury, if I'm be honest, he wasn't having the greatest season. So it's just not.
I
It's
mean,
just
because they're not going to
bad.
spend the money on him. I don't know what he's going to make now. He's not going to get what he was hoping for. Now he's coming off this injury, but they drafted like McKinney and stuff. So I think that they have Love also, who I've been wanting Love to play. I don't understand why he's not getting the playing time. But maybe now he does, I'm guessing.
Kind of like how it forced them to use Kadarius Toney a couple weeks back.
When you say, hold on, I missed that.
That's like kind of like how injuries forced them
What'd
to
you-
use Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. And I was listening to you and Joel, man. I actually agree with Joel. Listen, this is center from Lindenbaum, whatever, from Iowa. This guy is a real deal, man. He's not the same as the other centers that come through every year. This guy is a big, special guy, and he's going to be reached for, meaning that if centers usually don't go in the first round, this guy is going to go in the first round. There is going to be teams that are going to grab him before other teams grab him. So this is a guy that I think can make a huge difference for the Giants O-line. And I would love to have the guy. And I don't want him with the first pick, but I would take it with our second first round pick. That's high, but I would do it. With the first pick,
So then,
I think
what I'm gonna ask you is then, are you confident in finding a starting right tackle in the second round?
Yeah, you can find a right tackle in the other rounds. And don't forget, actually, the guy just mentioned it down at the bottom here. They will be developing, and I actually think Isaiah Wilson, if he gets his brain right, can be a heck of an offensive lineman.
No, Isaiah Wilson has his mind right now. It's just straight getting the talent right and stuff like that.
Right,
His
and
body
you're
shape.
going to give him
He
a
has to cut
chance.
down.
You might groom this guy. This guy could be part of the future of the line, man. So
I mean, I'm all willing to give him a chance. I mean, before Isaiah Wilson even came to the Giants, I even tweeted on Twitter that somebody should give him a chance because he has previous talent there. But I'm not going to bank on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely trying to draft the right tackle this draft.
Well, I'd like to get this Wilson kid in there at some point in the second half of the season, and let's see what they could see out of him on a field with this line, so you know what you might have going into next year. At some point, the Giants have to develop players, man. You can't just keep on drafting over and over and over. You got to develop guys. It takes 2-3 years, but you got to develop them. You got to work on them. And I think we haven't been doing that the last few years. That's a big part of
Haven't we been doing that with Matt Peart?
Pert's young. When we drafted Pert, right, everyone knew that he wasn't ready for 2 years. Right. Now that the line is crippled and we didn't address the line in this past draft, suddenly people want to make Pert. He's the starter. He's got to play. But guess what? When we drafted him, we knew he wasn't going to be ready at this point. So you can't just suddenly rush him because you didn't take care of the line when you were supposed to. So he's developed, and you got to keep on developing him. I think Pert is good. I think he could be good. Yes.
So you would develop both Pert and Wilson. Does that mean you're not taking a right tackle then?
We still gonna draft the right tackle.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
It never hurts to have an extra. Don't hurt to have an extra, especially when we've lacked the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm still 100% taking a right tackle.
Yeah, take the right tackle. So you want to take the right tackle. You want the kid from Alabama. I know what you want.
Yeah.
Right? You want the monster from Alabama. And you're not worried about the center, really. You'll get the center later.
No, I'm getting the center in the second round.
Well, that's the thing, though. So you're gambling. I don't know if this particular center is going to be there in the second round.
I would say you taking a right tackle is more of a gamble than me taking a center in the second round. Because once again, right, like if we're going to go by recent history and trends, what center has gone in the first round? What great center has gone in the first round? Some of the best centers in the league were undrafted. We were talking about Jeff Saturday earlier, right? I'm not saying that center isn't important. No, that's stupid if you say center is unimportant. Center's one of the most important parts on the entire football team. But I think you could get a great center in the second round. I don't think you could get a great right tackle in the second round, though.
Okay, no, I hear you. I would not take a center in the first round myself, but I believe this center is different, man. This guy is
What about him?
potential to be a great center.
What about him?
This guy is
Everybody's telling me about him, but like, what about him?
this guy is a big, very physical. He's already pro made. This guy is a beast, man. This guy is a beast. He's not like, oh, I got myself a center in the third or fourth round. This guy's worthy of a first round pick.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying you have to. You can hang out and see if he's there at the second round. But if you want to make a big time difference in this O-line, like we all do because we're sick of this shit already, you go take this guy and you don't let him hang around for someone else to grab.
Mhm.
That's the difference. But with the very first pick, I'm not taking him. With the very first pick, we really have to go with the best edge that's there for us. You're going to get a top level edge, and you can't afford to bypass that with your first pick because a lot of other teams are going to jump on him.
And we have, like I said earlier as well when Joe was on, it's been essentially 10 years since we drafted an edge in the first round. Last one was JPP.
Seriously. And we're talking about the New York Giants, who historically are known for edge. So it's time for us to go get one. Yeah, I would love to look under the Christmas tree and have the Oregon kid there, but I don't think we're going to be picking that high, man. So, realistically, I still think the Giants are going to win about 6, 7 games. So I think that we're not going to be over there for that. That Oregon kid's going to end up with the Jaguars or the Jets, one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
people are saying, for example, Nate's been telling me about the kid out of Michigan earlier. Joel was telling me about the kid out of Florida. There's
I heard about these guys. We'll take one. Well, whichever one it is that the Giants are doing their homework on. Mm-hmm. Again, once again, we gotta trust them, but don't come out this first round and go get a receiver because I'll kill somebody. I tell you right now, man.
That's like the last of our needs.
I don't want no more weapons. We're good at weapons. We can bring back the weapons we have. Go do what we gotta do to become a winning team. Bottom line.
The two lines. The
trenches. A center, right guard, a center. Hopefully we can get back Gates at guard. We'll see what happens. I know it's a 50-50. I believe the kid's a tough son of a gun, and he's going to make it back. Okay, you put him at guard, and you try to develop Hurt Wilson, see what you can get out of him. Soldiers is definitely gone. I mean, this guy already probably his retirement papers are in. Time for him to go. And that's it. We got to hit that. We got to hit the edge, and we got to get ourselves a stud linebacker. We got to get a real deal linebacker. I don't know what's going to happen with Martinez. There's a chance we might not even bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's coming off a major injury. We get back money if we let him go. They might move on. I wouldn't. As far as the game this week, man, I'm realistic. I told everyone last week, and people thought I was high. Someone told me. They asked me if I was high. I told them the Giants are winning the game outright Sunday. They're going to beat the Panthers. I knew it. This is a whole nother animal we are walking into this Monday night. I hate to say this as a Giants fan. It kills me. The Giants are not winning this game Monday night, man. I want people to get off that thought because I don't want people coming back here on Tuesday, blow the thing up. This team is shit. Blow it up. I don't want to hear all that.
The Chiefs are a different beast.
Different beast, man. Different beast, Hub. Tell them. You're going into Arrowhead Stadium, one of the loudest stadiums in the country. You're going up against a team that's been to the last 2 Super Bowls who just got humiliated last week. Dude, don't think that. And we've seen this before. And the Giants don't play good on national TV on Monday night either. And we're young. This is not a good setup for us. That's all I'm going to say. This is not a good setup for us, man. It's not.
Miz, let me get your last thought before.
The Chiefs didn't just forget how to play football. They may have had a little bit of a rough season here. They're still going to end up winning like 11, 12 games. So come on.
I agree with you. The Chiefs
that's it. I think the Giants can go in and fight.
Team. Won the last 2 Super Bowl teams.
They're still the Chiefs, and they can still roll off 7 or 8 in a row in the second half of the year. We all know that. I hope I'm wrong, man. I'll be watching the game. I'll start the game exciting, jumping around, but I just don't think it's gonna. But I do think we come back and beat the Raiders the following week. That's real. So I think that don't get too low as fans. If we come out of Kansas City with a loss, and even if it's not even close, I don't know, but don't get down and start talking about blowing it up again and fire Gettleman, all this crap. Let the season play out, like Carl Banks was saying today. The Giants have winnable games. They can still get to 7 or 8. They really can. Even with losing to Tampa and Kansas City, they could still get to 8. I looked at it. So let the season play out, and hopefully we get back Galladay. Tony, it would have been nice to have Tony on a national stage this Monday night. He could have balled out and showed the country what he is. And I agree with you. You won't get Thomas and Barkley back till after the bye. That makes sense. Tampa Bay game.
Yep.
And that's it, Hub. You know, that's really all that's going on right now.
Hey, man. Thank you for calling in, Miz. As usual, love talking with you guys. Go over to check out his channel. Definitely interact with this man, one of the best Giants fans on here, bro. Have a good one, man.
Right.
Last but certainly not least, Alex from Big Blue in the Bronx. What's up? You got the blue screen back there, but it's not activated.
So, well, I mean, it would be activated, but because of the camera I got, it's wide, and it'd be kind of weird just having like a background, like not the full.
So how do you work it like on the usual then?
When I'm on YouTube, I usually go into OBS. I clip the portrait of myself, and then I do all the background stuff. So unfortunately, in StreamYard, you can't capture yourself and do all the other stuff you could in OBS. I'm going to make some bold predictions, and I really don't want to talk about the offseason, but, you know, it was one win, right? I think we might have to redo our safety corps potentially. Jabrill Peppers tearing his ACL, not great, and I don't think we're bringing him back, personally. You know, McKinney, I guess he's having second-year struggles like some of the Dave Gettleman class has had in the past. Logan Ryan hasn't been anything. Julian Love, I mean, he's had good plays and bad, so he's more of a role player. But I honestly think that, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing knowing the secondary was going to be supposed to be one of the best in the league. You know, it's not a good thing. And then obviously going into next year, yeah, we have a lot of picks, but you know, how many good safeties? You know, do we really want? When safety is a need for us, do we really want to be prioritizing the first, second round and then getting one in the third? Meanwhile, we should have prioritized it, but we had to prioritize O-line and edge first. I mean, it just seems silly, but I think that's the path we're headed on, unfortunately. I did see the J.R. Reed thing. I was actually doing a video before I got on here. Don't know much about him. He was teammates with Tay Crowder, Azeez Ojulari, and Andrew Thomas at Georgia. So that's something to add. And actually, no, not Azeez Ojulari, because Azeez came out in 2000 for the 2021 draft, not 2020. I potentially think, and I agree with, you know, drafting a right tackle. Personally, I think that, and I haven't done any scouting yet. I have not paid attention to that yet. I'm letting the season roll out as it is. Besides, everybody's talking about Evan Neal and this guy out of Texas A&M. There is another guy that a lot of people are paying attention to, which is Darius Kennard out of Kentucky, who is, I think, a first, maybe second round pick. As I said, I'm not doing the scouting or anything. So if Kennard falls to the second round, maybe the Giants pick him there. But then again, you know, you don't know. Definitely don't go in next year with Matt Pearce, you're starting right tackle. I think with the situation, and as of right now, I see it as Dave Gettleman getting fired. Something I really didn't want to happen. I wanted to be right about him, and you know, unfortunately, it really hasn't turned out that way with the roster and all this other stuff. But I potentially see, and this is once again, this ain't the greatest prediction in terms of like me feeling about it. It's more of I think it's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I potentially see Nick Gates, Shane Lemieux, and Matt Peart being depth pieces for us. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And I know a lot of people are on the Nick Gates train. Listen, who's not on the Nick Gates train, right? But, you know, I don't think the Giants are going to take any sort of chances with, oh, well, you know, he's coming back from a potential career-ending injury. So, you know, they might just say, hey, let's put him as a backup.
Yeah, we're not sure. I mean, even if he is coming back, well, how serious they're making it seem, it could be multiple years, right? So yeah, I think the best thing would probably be to try and get somebody to replace him.
Yeah, Alex Smith took, 2 years with his injury, and I think Nick Gates has had, 7 surgeries. So it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, I'm still not convinced on Joe Judge, and I'm not going to sit here and say fire Gettleman mid-season. I think that, if the way the season's going right now, we have a couple of fluke wins. Yeah, he should be fired. But realistically, from what I know, you cannot hire a GM mid-season unless they're unemployed. Everybody's getting this idea of, oh, well, we're going to hire a GM mid-season. You can't do that. Y'all are getting the idea because Gettleman was hired actually week 17 of 2017, but he was unemployed. He was unemployed. He was not with the Panthers organization. So that's where I think everybody's getting the idea from. But you can't do interviews. You can't conduct interviews until after the season. So, and then you're going to face the potential block of, well, is this team going to block us from interviewing this candidate, Kyle O'Brien, all these other candidates? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't want Joe Judge to work out. I want him to, but he's shown me some things, and he hasn't really shown me some things either compared to last year. And my number one candidate to replace him would be Don Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens,
right?
And I wanted him originally in 2020.
2020, yeah. Wink was one of my guys that I was really excited about. But did we even give him a interview? I can't remember.
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I'm not too sure about that. I know there's obviously the concern over the last couple of years. Oh, he's been a coordinator for this long and stuff like that and whatever. But what he shows me, and just what the Ravens have shown me, even though they took an ass beating from the Bengals this past week, is they maximize. They don't have the greatest players on the roster. Devonta Freeman and Le'Veon Bell, they're running backs, and both are past their prime, in my opinion, even though some can do some things, right? You look at their pass rush, other than maybe two players, maybe one being Justin Houston, they have literal scraps playing it as the pass rushers, and then they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. So in this case, the Giants don't necessarily have to have the greatest roster in the world if Don Martindale, I'm saying from a philosophical standpoint and a standpoint where, if it were to happen, Don Martindale would maximize whatever talent he has on the roster, fill it with better coaches, and go from there. So that would be my pick personally. And once again, I don't want to talk about that stuff, but I also do think that Joe Judge is actually in for a year 3.
There's no reason for him not to be. I made a video last week which basically gave an argument for Joe Judge and his entire regime being gone and for them staying. And to be honest with you, while recording and making that video, I kind of convinced myself, and this is before the Carolina game, I kind of convinced myself to give them another year because I realized, wow, it's literally, he doesn't even have 2 years under his belt right now. He has a year and 7 weeks under his belt. Like, let's give him some time. That was the biggest thing for me.
Here's what I'm scared of. If it wasn't the situation we're in right now, and we could all trace it back to, firing Gettleman in 2019 when Shermer was gone. We could all trace it back to that. I'm really scared of the fact that they're going to have Judge pick the GM, or they're going to let another GM in the building while Judge is going to be in his 3rd year. I'm going to say this for the 10,000th time, and I don't care how many times I say it. The Jets, 2018, they fired Todd Bowles after a couple of seasons. They kept their general manager. They went into the draft. They drafted all their players, free agency, Le'Veon Bell, all these other things. Adam Gase fired Mike McCagnon, the general manager, and then he hired the next general manager, which is still the general manager today, Joe Douglas. And then Gase got fired at the end of 2020, though despite having a good season, a good season for the Jets because it's the Jets in 2019. And then 2020 came along, 2014, and then Joe Douglas had to pick a head coach, and now a lot of Jet fans are complaining Joe Douglas is not the right GM. He has not brought in talent, and Robert Saleh, we don't know what the story is on him. So they're in that circus type of 3-ring circus circle there of our very incompetent past head coach, also known as Adam Gase, picked our GM, and this is the shit excuse my language. I know you're monetized.
No, it's fine.
This is the crap we're dealing with right now. So I don't want to be in that position. I know a lot of people have brought up Kyle O'Brien and that guy Ibrahim or something like that from the Patriots. Yeah, but still, I'm just not in favor of that. And I would give Judge a 3rd year if Gettleman had been fired. But that's just my thing. I'm scared of that cycle. And then, we would be comparing ourselves at that point if Judge doesn't work out next year to the Jets and the Jaguars and all these other teams.
No, I'm right there with you. Saying that's what I've been saying for a while with the keeping Judge situation as well. I mean, people say that his year one was a fluke and his year two isn't even over yet. I want a year three to see which one of the years was the fluke. Was it year one or was it year two? I mean, is it possible that this year is the outlier of the two? It is. So I'm like, let's see the third year.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people saying, oh, we gotta strip it down. Can't do that. Can't do that. Dave Gettleman has invested a lot of money in these guys. Let's paint the picture here. Let's just say the Giants, finish the season horribly. They fire Dave Gettleman, but to keep Joe Judge, maybe bring another GM in. You're not getting rid of Galladay. You're getting rid of Bradbury because, well, I mean, he obviously showed against the Panthers what he could be, but once again, that's against not the greatest offense in the world with Sam Darnold at the helm. He's actually tied his interception total from last year, but once again, he isn't the same player. So you could get rid of him and save $13 million. You can get rid of Solder. You can get rid of Sterling Shepard, which probably they will if you get a new general manager in. You're stuck with Kenny Galladay for another 2 years. Same thing with Leonard Williams, at least another year with him. So you cannot properly rebuild, but what you can do is set yourself up with some draft picks and, maybe some money for the years on. So you could, draft the number one corner or draft a number two corner next to Dory Jackson. You can draft an edge rusher, which I honestly like the way Quincy Roche played against the Panthers. I think it should be him and Aziz. Screw Carter, screw Zimenez.
I said that in my video today. I said put Quincy Roche all the way up. I know it was very, very small and short sample size, but I like what I've seen from him way more than like what I've seen from Zimenez and Carter. So just start him. Just start him and Aziz, man.
Yeah. Obviously, I know you're a big as your I think as your Discord name still states, Aziz Ojolari stand. He's already broken that rookie record. Well, actually, he's tied it, so he's probably gonna break that rookie record though. Even though Lawrence Taylor, 1981, we all know that story. So let me ask you a question. I'm personally not sold yet entirely. I do think there could be some maneuverings. I also think that red zone execution, and once we get over the 50, the huge amount of penalties playing, because once we saw when we saw in the Panthers game, we could have scored a lot more points. Nate Solder, illegal man downfield, the intentional grounding penalty, which Daniel Jones was hit on. He had to throw it near Slayton, but it was intentional grounding because he wasn't in the area. Matt Parrott, illegal downfield. False start, Will Hernandez. Where are you on Daniel Jones?
He's my guy. He's my guy. If that's what you're asking, yeah, he's my guy. Nate said it earlier. I said it earlier. Joel, Miz, he goes out there every week, and for 7 weeks now, he's been going out there and essentially carrying the team to the best of his ability. Let's not forget in the first half, because we rallied off 20 points in the second half. In the first half, when it was 5-3, it would legitimately look like Daniel Jones was doing everything in his power to get a first down, and then some stupid mistake by an offensive player would negate that first down, or we move back yards. And I was like, this kid is doing everything once again to try and carry this team to a victory, but they're failing him. You know what I'm saying? And he puts every single effort out there, and I still think there's more to see from him because there hasn't been a game where he's had everybody on his offense healthy. There hasn't been a single game in his entire career where he's had everybody on his offense healthy.
Yeah, and I said it after the Saints game. I'm like, I'm not gonna try to make any more excuses for him because obviously Slayton and Shep were out that game. Then he used Ross and Galladay and all these weapons. But you need to put that excuse in for explaining the context of the Panthers game. We had 6 penalties in the first half, only 2 in the second half. Both were special teams, so they probably take care of that this week. But the point is, with the 6 penalties, 5-6 penalties, the context needs to be there. If you're going to say Daniel Jones is your guy, you got to explain the way that, in the third game against the Falcons, Jason Garrett went back to his old roots of curl routes and stuff like that. One thing I like to see from him against the Panthers is the slant routes and the rollouts. When your offensive line is not there, and I get it, you have to do quick passes. That's the stuff you should go to, not the curl routes that don't get yards after the catch. But he's just been in an uncomfortable situation. And I think right now we're at this state as Giant fans. Me personally, I don't want to go through the cycle again. And I know that's, hindering a lot of opinions, but everybody can say, oh, draft Malik Willis, draft this guy, draft that guy. The problem's not going to be fixed. the problem's not going to be fixed once we draft a quarterback. And people forget we're spending another first round pick when we could be getting Evan Neal, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau. If he falls to us, it's probably not going to happen. Some of these other guys. There's one of the guys at Texas A&M, DeMarvin Leal or something like that. He can play inside and outside in terms of defensive line. We need another defensive tackle. In terms of, get Danny Shelton the hell out of here. He don't do anything.
Danny Shelton was definitely a waste of money.
Waste of football player. Waste of 347 pounds. If that's even correct. But I mean, I would put David Moe out there going forward. But and I know a lot of people would compare to the Sam Darnold situation. I think Daniel Jones could be the guy. But let's not go in here and start saying, oh, well, we're going to draft a quarterback. It's all going to be better. No, because you're prioritizing your first-round pick and who's coming out of this class that has obviously, once again, we're not finished with college football. Malik Willis, yeah, but, he's a project still. And
I'm not a believer in Malik Willis.
I'm not a believer in any of these quarterbacks. Sam Howell was supposed to be the next best thing. And he's not really been remarked as that
what
guy.
Happened to that, what happened to the Patrick Mahomes pale albino lookalike?
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah. What happened to him?
He's not even a starter at Oklahoma.
Before the year began, everybody was like, oh, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Where is he?
What a joke. But, that's what people have to take in. And I understand, it's all process about this garbage team, right? But no, I'm not down to spend another first round pick on a quarterback in another 2-3 years. Oh, is he the guy? Because we all know that if the Giants don't get their crap together in 2-3 years, what's going to happen is, it's the quarterback's fault. Let's get a new quarterback in. So that's just my thoughts on that.
Hey man, I choked on my own words. I agree with you completely. That's why I'm kind of also want to stick with Jones. And that goes back to what I was saying. There's a defense for this coaching staff because I think we all know the coaching staff is tied to the players. Contract-wise, the players are tied here for a while unless we're like about to eat a whole lot of dead cap space. But that doesn't make sense to me to eat a whole lot of dead cap space. So the easiest route forward, and honestly, it is a route that could potentially lead to success, is just continue building with the draft, with the trenches, specifically the offensive line, and then getting an edge rusher. And we might be somewhere. But Alex, let me get your last thought before I pop you out and I close off the stream, man.
Yeah. Once again, thanks, Hub, for having me on. Also, I forgot to add in that O-line segment that I was talking about. Will Hernandez, I think he's serviceable. I don't think he's the greatest guard in the world.
I said that earlier. He's not terrible.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's better than, in my opinion, he's better than Billy Price. He's okay. He's compared to Matt Skura. I think he's a little bit better. Though Skura has a better IQ in terms of the football knowledge. He's better than Brazen. And also one thing I want to bring up, a lot of people, and obviously the Giants got themselves in a situation. I don't think Daniel Jones is worth what his 5th-year option is, which is $21 million. But I don't think people are talking about all the extent. You're really going to give him this money? What makes you think he's going to ask for this? The Deshaun Watson money. What makes you think he's going to ask for that? I'm pretty sure Daniel Jones does not seem like Josh Rosen to me. So I don't know where people are getting at that. But once again, Kush, thank you for having me on. Guys, if you already, please, we're 2 subscribers away from 300. So I would really appreciate that.
Go over there and get this man to 300, man. Get him to 300. Tune into Boys in the Big Apple. Y'all know the deal. It's not his first time on here.
Have a good night, Kush. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, Alex. Have a good one. No, I was waiting to see if you're gonna plug anything coming up on the channel.
We'll probably move Boys the Big Apple to Wednesday of next week because I want to watch the Manning cast in the Chiefs game. So,
just for this week coming up?
Yeah, just for this week coming up. Maybe another week in the future, but that's pretty much it for me. Maybe I'll call a World Series game, but
yeah, no, I completely forgot we are Monday night. Maybe I'll take a look at the Manning cast as well, see if I could get it somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex, thank you for tuning in, man. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
And to the rest of you guys, thank you all for tuning in. We were here for 2 hours, which is very, very long. I'm tired. I'm sure so are you. That's it for now. Thank you guys all for tuning in. The channel does not exist and run without you guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'm out.